Hi, welcome to Dr. Mix. Where are we?
LA.
We are in LA. We are at Anthony Marinelli's studio, and we have these three amazing synthesizers. Not only do we have these three synthesizers, we have Tim Sund here, who's a brilliant musician and representing here Nonlinear Labs as well.
Yes, I do.
Hi. But most importantly, we have Stephan Schmitt, the man behind these synths and behind the company Nonlinear Labs, as well as the inventor of a reactor, as well as the founder of Native Instruments. Come here, sit next to me. To be honest, I'm super thrilled to have these people right around here. This is the most knowledge that you can ever wish to acquire in one afternoon. So still in the end. Stephan, great to see you, firstly. Can you just tell us in 1 minute what is so different about the synthesizer and why we all love it?
We developed the instrument mainly for performers because I had a background with the producer software and soft synths, and it should be a hardware instrument that is very playable, that is really fun to play. It's a very nice keyboard, which has a sound engine that responds very well.
And the synth engines include FM?
A comb filter, which you can use for physical modeling style of sounds, and we have another filter, so you can filter everything that is produced there, like a subtractive synthesizer.
That's right. So today we decided to challenge ourselves and see if we can recreate the sounds of Daft Punk's Around the World. One of my favorite songs. It's amazing, isn't it? It's a great song. So how about if we first ask Tim, what are the sounds involved and how did we get there?
First of all, we have a bass sound. Maybe, Anthony, you want to play it? Exactly.
And then...
So how did you make the sound and what does it take to make this sound?
I mean, well, in this case, we decided to do this song, and then I went, just before the trip to LA, I went into my studio and I checked all the presets that we have that were suitable to the song.
Similar, right.
And so I adjusted them a little bit, but basically I took them from the vast library that we have. I took a couple of bass sounds and now we decided on this one. Yeah. You play this first, not the vocal melody, but the synth melody.
Okay.
Maybe you want to...
The synth melody.
Yeah, that's that one.
Yeah?
Yeah. And you can actually use the ribbons there to put a little bit more resonance, a little bit less cutoff, and it gets a very, very nice kind of flavor.
What are we touching here exactly?
A is the cutoff and B is the resonance of this.
Stephan, is there an effect on this sound? It sounds like there's something, because you didn't mention earlier, this also has an effects section.
Yeah, some sounds with flanger, a phaser.
Which you'll hear on Tim's sound.
My first sound that I decided I have to play is this kind of clavinet sound. It's called here the BP clav. And then I have another sound I have to switch to, and this is this kind of, actually the vocal melody. And this is actually a sound by the master himself.
Oh yeah?
This is Stephan's thing.
Oh, you made that sound?
Chorus, phaser, and at the end it says cap.
There you go, there's the effects. I love effects on synthesizers, as you know. And that's how you make these sounds talk.
How is this one called? Hank CH phaser?
Yep.
So this is a mix of, let's say, some sawtooth style oscillator and quite a lot of the comb filter. So
the comb filter. Let's listen to the sound of it. Can you please explain, Anthony, comb filters and how to make vowel sounds on a synthesizer?
It's basically just like resonance. I mean, to simplify it, if you had one low-pass filter with resonance, that would be one peak, and you add another one, and you have two peaks, and you move them. Like, you know how you make an MS-20 talk?
Yeah.
With the two filters, right?
Yeah.
It's a simplified version, but it's something you can understand. You just have basically a high-pass filter and a low-pass filter together, and you could create vocal sounds very easily.
We use the flanger,
like
a comb filter, and we drive the flanger with an envelope.
Ah, okay.
So instead of running the flanger with the typical LFO thing, it's going in
Like an envelope.
So it's not static because it moves, it talks.
Yeah.
That's why the effects are so important. And I'm so glad he put this into this FM synthesizer. You know, like it's really important for making the thing expressive, I think.
When I first learned that you can basically loop envelopes on this machine, like this one, for example, you can loop it, and then the envelope itself becomes the curve of the LFO that you're drawing.
Yep.
Right? So can you please explain to me how in the world did you think of that? And I wanted to get a reaction from Anthony, because this is pretty deep. Can you please explain it?
Yeah, in the beginning we didn't have envelopes in the classical form. We had oscillators that can run very slow. So you can run each voice, in each voice one oscillator like an LFO. But for more flexibility, I've decided to give the envelope C, which is like a flexible or multi-purpose envelope, the possibility to run from decay 1 to decay 2 to decay 1 to decay 2. So, and by this you have a
triangle,
symmetrical, asymmetric. You can influence the speed because we have velocity and key tracking being assigned also to the decay.
Because
times.
the decay time obviously becomes the time, and that changes the angle of the triangle.
For example, that's or the whole frequency of this LFO can change over the keys or with the velocity.
For percussive sounds, like let's just take a piano. A piano is a percussive instrument. There's like more complexity than just usually the typical ADSR, right? Because there's a transient, like if you have the levels that you have, you can formulate something at the very beginning, but then still have something left over to control for the sustained state. So if you look at it in the most simple form, you get a little more control over the transient and the sustain. And on a traditional synthesizer, it's one envelope that has to kind of cover you for both. So that's what I enjoy about this, is you get these beautiful transients, but then you still can have some tone control with the envelope afterward. And you can use that to modify harmonic color or just overall volume, either way. So it's definitely a lot of added realistic, I guess, value. And that's what you go for a lot. That's why you have all these distortion things, because that simulates more real life. With a traditional synthesizer, as you know, Claudio, it's like once you decay, you're done.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't really...
Some synths had another attack and another decay, I remember, or something like that, but it was really rare.
Yeah.
Once the decay is done, you're done.
Yeah, we make tricks with like a short decay and a long release. So if you hold the key down really quickly, it just goes doot. And if you go really fast, you still have something left to, we do little tricks for expression. But with this, you don't have to like rely on the tricks. You can get more of the real thing happening.
So how about if we try and play the parts? All right, so we were programming the rhythm, right? What did this go? Stats, stats. That was like this, right? Boom, boom. And then we go open. We go with the closed. Da, da, da.
Good.
Because this is the decay time of the closed. That's right. Respect! 2, 3, 4, pump.
Now we're gonna do half.
All right, so it begins with the ta pa 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 da pa da. It's beautiful.
And then we go into the
I mean, we don't have the bell sound in the original one, but
I
we
added
can
that.
add it.
I added that.
You added that?
Yeah, I was looking for sounds, and
Okay.
then all of a sudden I stepped over this sound. And I felt
Alright.
like, wow, this is a cool sound for it, actually.
Cool.
That sounds good.
So why don't you guys record this thing together?
Okay, I'll follow your lead.
Okay.
That's cool. I love it.
It's rubbery, all of it.
Yeah. So then we have the main bass line.
Maybe
About there?
I think there it's a little less, but here I think we need this.
We need a bit of nose, don't we? Oh yeah, do that, yeah. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
You know, this, you could do this for a job. You know that?
Who's next?
Probably this clav thing.
Okay. And I think that there is an LFO on the filter that opens and it closes it, but not synced to the
Yeah,
tempo.
I mean, you might be able to do it with your
I can do it with my hand.
articulation.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Well, that'll work.
That's it.
Next one or not? Okay.
2, 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
I played a digital clav really similar to that on this James Brown Africa Bambaataa album called Unity Power. But you'll hear that it's really similar to that. Really similar. Yeah, and I was doing the same thing with the FM.
Yeah.
I was just adding more or less FM. And I put it on the keyboard velocity, but underused digital clav. So. Okay, cool. So what's next?
So maybe there is more delay, or maybe not.
That's pretty good. When you play up the tight notes. So cool. It sounds like an analog synth with delay on it, with tape delay on it.
Actually, this sound is by David in the back there.
Oh, David.
One of the great people of Nonlinear Labs. I think you have to play with the same sound, opening the cutoff from the beginning with us. Like 4 times just us, then the next 4 times you come in with this and start from the very low.
Yeah.
You have such a good ear. You always do. You always show up with it.
One more time. Perfect.
Let me see that. Let me see that ribbon technique again. You got that. No, you're like.
Do you think it goes too far away from the original if you would do at the end a little bit of a slide down?
I think that we should improvise on this.
Yes, definitely. We are not there yet.
We're not there yet.
I have to play the vocal line.
Oh, the vocal line. Subscribe if you want the vocal line. Yes. Oh, right. Around the world, the payoff. Okay.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
Okay. Now we have the other bass line.
You want to do that? That's it.
And I think the vocal line continues alone
Yeah.
one time, and
Yeah.
then the new bass line comes in
It
underneath,
does.
right?
It does. Well, I don't know if we have worked the arrangement. Do we want to work the arrangement in the end?
I think we have to find our own arrangement. Just put in the different parts. Let's just decide how we do it.
We super have it. How about if we do the bass line with the drums, we repeat all over and over again, and then we improvise one after the other on the backing track.
So this bass line.
Yeah.
That's probably better to improvise.
Or
than the other
maybe-
one. The other
or
one is
maybe-
the other one is so busy already, right?
Yeah. Or maybe we can improvise on.
Listen, if it's an improvisation, I can mix it up.
Anthony, you play the bass and we improvise on top of it, and you go wherever you
I'll
want
just
to go.
play bass like a bass player.
And
you know what I mean?
uh,
Just start with the drums, like after that's over, and let's just have empty drums.